Hello, everybody.
Hello, Sandro.
Yes. I will start a little bit, then someone can join. I just want to say a few words about the topic, today's topic. The topic will be, we will talk a little bit about Tara and her role in, mm, the feminine principle in Buddhism. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And then we can also shift as example of her practical emanation in Tibet in the form of Yeshe Tsogyal, as her expression, and then how it works in the practical situation when she is emanating in some culture, and what happens then.
Okay, I look forward to that.
And if there are some suggestions or questions, okay, we can anytime. After presentation, we can talk about that. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandro.
So I want to show some books on which I studied a little bit for this topic, because to show that maybe you will be interested. I put them in the chat, in the WhatsApp chat, these books, like this one in English. This is called Mother of Knowledge. A very fantastic book, by Tarkhan Tulku Rinpoche and his student. It's quite an old book. I mean, it's a very good book, by the way, and I recommend, if someone interested in the life and liberation of Yeshe Tsogyal, you can get this book. I think it's possible to get still. Yes, this is Mother of Knowledge. Then I put one Tara book in the chat in Russian, but it's available in English as well. And also there is a book about Tara like this, in Russian, but in English it's also it's called Skillful Grace. Tara Practices for Our Times, this one, yeah. And also there is one book in here it's in Russian, but there is also in English, of course, original by Tsultrim Alione, and it's called here, the name is The Famous Yoginis, this one. And there are a lot of quite a few biographies of famous Tibetan yoginis, including Yeshe Tsogyal, if someone is interested. Also, there is one book by Ken MacLeod, and it's called The Magical Vajrayana, and it's about the Tara practice, the complete book. It's recently translated in Russian as well. So, can we start? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. So we don't need Russian translation, yes? Am I right?
Not for me.
No, is someone who needs Russian translation? I think no, nobody. Yes.
I'm good now. Thank you.
Okay. So let's start with the the history a little bit. Short excursus in history of Tara. There are two versions or legends about Tara. The one is that Chenrezig or Avalokiteshvara was at some point very much disappointed, because he could not save all the living beings. There were a lot of suffering, and the hell realms and hungry ghost realms were full of beings. So at some point he was hopeless that it's too much for him, and at that moment he started crying, and the tears. One tear was the green Tara, and the other was white Tara. They appeared and were born from these tears, and then they said that now it's okay, we can help you, and we can be kind of we can assist you in your this activity, saving, helping human beings or any beings. So this is one legend, one story. The other story goes back to India, and long time ago, maybe very long time ago, there was a female practitioner. Her name was Yeshe Tsogyal, or it's translated from Tibetan as wisdom moon. Yes, and she was on the verge of becoming Buddha, but then also she decided that yes, but in Mahayana tradition, it's said that to become a Buddha, you have to be male. And she said that she will not become, she will become, Bodhisattva, who is helping beings, but remaining in the female body. And then from that time, she is, when she was enlightened, she made this oath to have a female body as an expression of this enlightenment. So this is the other version, Anyway, if we the main point is the Tara is the feminine principle of enlightened mind. So we have both feminine and male principles, but they are inseparable, actually, and there is maybe a little misunderstanding that these are gender issues, but actually any kind of being while attaining enlightenment, it's beyond gender, but these female and male principles as a components of total realization are present in maybe it can be male or female. They have both of these components, like wisdom and compassion together, inseparable. That's why we see the images, of in Tibetan it's called Yab Yum, or father-mother images, that inseparability of male and female, which they are in unity. And sometimes you see the figure like Padmasambhava, but he always holds this katvanga, or the staff, in her here, and it's kind of symbol of feminine, or the in our case, it's, for example, maybe Yeshe Tsogyal, as a symbol of Yeshe Tsogyal. And on the inner level, it's the symbol of the subtle energy body, which is represented by this tuft, central channel, and then there are like two side channels, and then there are three heads. Uh, one head is like skeleton head, then uh, not very uh, fresh head, and then a fresh, alive head, almost alive head. So these three symbols of three bodies of Buddha, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, symbol of transformation of three poisons, ignorance, passion, and aggression in these three bodies of Buddha. And this is shown like the symbol is that in subtle body, the energy body, the channels, this right and left channel energy enters the central, and then this wisdom energy goes through central channel, and then thus these poisons are transformed into three kayas. So this is we can see also in female, for example, Vajrayogini is holding also this Katvanga, but in this case it's her male part, So we have this symbolism which shows that actually male and female are just components to like inseparable union of enlightened mind. So in case of Tara, on the absolute level, she's Samantabhadri, or the consort of Samantabhadra, as we know. It's a symbol of Dharmakaya. Then in Sambhogakaya level, she's Vajrayogini, and Nirmanakaya level, she may be any emanation, for example, in Tibet it was Yeshe Tsogyal, and not only her, but many others. So Tara actually, is embodiment, and sometimes she's called the mother of all the Buddhas, all the conquerors. And because she represents these different aspects of feminine energy, basically related with space, as Samandabhadri, ultimate space, from which everything arises, including the Buddhas. Yeah. So that's why she is called the mother of all the Buddhas. And actually, in India, we know that there is a Tara cult in Hinduism as well, and the name, the same Tara, for example, they use. And in China, there is Kuan Yin, the same principle of Tara. They worship her as a female expression of Avalokiteshvara or Chenrezi. So we see the same principles working. And generally, people, she's very popular both in India and Tibet, because one of her functions is protection from fear. And there are different kind of fears or dangers related, to different circumstances, like mainly 8 fears related with encounter with wild animals, with the robbers, with or if we are somehow put in jail, some restricted situation, the fear of that, and actual situation, and there are 8 inner fears that are related to these outer fears. For example, like elephant, the fear of elephant is related to elephant is the pride, or the sorry, lion is pride, and elephant is ignorance, and the robbers are wrong views, and for example, the snake, is jealousy. So there are others, I don't remember all of them, but they are somehow all related. And then you have 16 fears, both outer and inner. And generally, when we need some help, some very quick solution, or we are in danger, so Tara is considered very helpful in that aspect as well. And sometimes, they like they joke that even very high lamas, who are very much realized, but when they travel in the plane and plane loses, its height, and becomes in turbulent. Yeah, then they cry out for Tara, start reading the mantra of Tara immediately, because they trust that she can immediately help them. So, and there are 21 different aspects of Tara, and of course there are many aspects, but usually they say 21, and from that 20 most well-known are green and white Tara. Green Tara is for exactly for to have to eliminating this 16 different kinds of fear and problems related to that. And also, for example, if you want to start practicing Dharma, you also need the assistance of green Tara to make auspicious circumstances or environment when you can start progressing. So the people who have no access to Dharma and have problems with that, they start practicing Tara, and then gradually everything, situation, everything comes very easily, and they can practice and progress on the path. Yes, the green Tara. So this is one of her abilities. And also we have white Tara. In this case, it's related more with long life, longevity, health, and also childbirth. Also, if you want to conceive a child, they also ask white Tara. Also, a white Tara has Amitabha image on her crown of her head, and this is related to her connection to this pure land of Amitabha. So that's why, people often ask white Tara for longevity, for health, for childbirth, and also during death, she also may help. And white Tara has 7 eyes, on the soles of her palms and the soles of her feet, and also one here. And these eyes represent they don't have eyelashes, just openings here, and they represent the sensitivity, the ability to feel and connect with wisdom to the to others, and thus be able to resonate, with others, or there is a compassionate resonance with others, and yes. So usually, one interesting thing is that to practice white Tara, or green Tara for that matter, it's needs mainly this is related to the Kriya Tantra level, and these practices are very, very detailed and need a lot of different preparations. So basically, they are practiced in big monasteries, and with monks do that. But there are simple practices also. Very short practices of taras, which are for the laymen, for people like us, and they are very short and effective, mainly concentrated on repetition of the mantra. Also, there are some practices of white Tara that are related to Dzogchen, very short practices, but they need a very special introduction from the Dzogchen master. So of course, there are other taras, as we mentioned. There are 21 taras, and mainly they are not peaceful. They're wrathful expressions, and the iconography is very, very wrathful. So this means that it's activity and it's power, and that's why it's expressed sometimes in a wrathful way. That's when we invoke Tara, we need a very immediate activity, and usually it's connected with some forces, some demonic forces, or some spirits, involvement, which are dealt with. That's why Tara needs some raffle forms, raffle expressions as well. This is very general, of course. We try to just understand the basic principle of what Tara is, because there is a lot of information, in books, and if you want to know details, you can, of course, read the details there. And so as an expression of activity of Tara, we can just very briefly touch the life of Yeshe Tsogyal, who is considered the emanation of Tara, and also other female deities like Saraswati, and she's considered the mother of Tibetan Buddhism, because when all the practices that we have in the, for example, Nyingma system are related to mainly to Terma, and that's why as the Yeshe Tsogyal was the one who protected this teaching and made these termas, and actually without her it will be not possible to bring all this together, and that's why her role in Tibetan Buddhism was as one can say on the same level as Guru Rinpoche, because Guru Rinpoche came to Tibet. Of course, he was enlightened master emanation of Amitabha, and the Tristan Detsen, the king of Tibet, was emanation of Manjushri, and Yeshe Tsogyal was emanation of Saraswati. So they had a kind of very powerful trio, one could say, to start bringing Tibetan Buddhism to start bringing Buddhism in Tibet, and the point is that without so Padmasambhava was searching, the someone who can, or waiting rather for the moment when there will be available this bridge between him and Tibetan culture, Tibetan local gods and spirits, and that was Yeshe Tsogyal, because she was born. Maybe they don't say it much, but actually she was born as a princess and actually as a Bompo or bone goddess as well. So she's kind of very much like part of Tibetan culture, and spirits and local gods were very familiar to her, and it was like a bridge that Guru Rinpoche could, his wisdom was going through Yeshe Tsogyal, and then it was transformed in such a way that she made it available to Tibetan people, Tibetan culture, Tibetan language also as well, was also transformed by her presence. And sometimes we see the same thing with some Tibetan lamas. They, for example, when they go to West, they marry the Western, women as a connection with Western culture to transmit their wisdom more precisely, because without that, it's very difficult to bridge the gap between different kind of cultures and different countries. So it's a kind of archetypal thing, and also in Yeshe Tsogyal, there are wonderful biographies. By the way, one I put in chat, new edition in Russian language, but it's also in English. But it's a little bit more on the level of her biography, and not so much inner level of practices, which are more available in this book by translated by Tartan Tulku Rinpoche, which involves a lot of well, it's like a teachings, actually, and the description of her spiritual path, because although she was a goddess and she was emanation of goddess, but actually there was a whole human component, and even having Guru Rinpoche as her teacher, he needed to go through very, very severe practices. And as a human being, she really went through a lot of hardships, a lot of suffering, and everything is described there. How she managed to integrate, this understanding that Guru Rinpoche transmitted, how she managed to combine that with all the hardships, all the difficulties she went through. And then she, at some point, she really regained the status of her, as a Tara, and actually became a Buddha in the female person. And this is very important that now we have practices related to her, and there are sadhanas, as we know, and some schools of Tibetan Buddhism, they say, oh, it's very silly, they worship just a Tibetan girl in her form, and it's in Enigma system, we understand that, and then this was there was some polemics, and logically it was refuted that she is not a just Tibetan girl, but she is at the same time complete embodiment of the feminine principle of enlightened activity, and thus because once you embody the body, mind, speech, mind of the divinity, enlightened mind, then you become one with that, and that's why and our goal is to, in our practices of yidams, is to be integrated with their body, mind, and speech. And once it's accomplished, then we becomes kind of embodiment of that of that enlightened aspect of mind, and otherwise we it's the same like we worship the guru, not because we don't worship some Tibetan guy or someone, some lama or Western person, but we worship this principle, the energy, the enlightened mind that this person is one, make himself one with. That's why he is a lama or a guru. So the same thing with Yeshe Tsogyal, that she regained her kind of realization. And we are fortunate to be in touch with her teachings and energy till now, because they are discovering, the termas or the teachings of Guru Rinpoche and, Yeshe Tsogyal till now. Actually, it happens. Yes, so we are fortunate. It's relevant to us. It's not just history. It's not just history. It's relevant. It has a relevance for us as well. So I think we should find that this everything that these teachings are available and brought to us through this grace of the great practitioners, feminine practitioners as well. Yeah, that's it. I just don't want to make it more longer, but we can discuss, these issues, whether it has relevance for us or not. Yeah.
I wonder if Tara protects from evil spirits. Does she?
Yes, because from these 21 taras, some taras are especially for protection from the spirits, and different kinds of spirits. Different, there are 8 classes of spirits in Tibetan, this classification, and Tara is especially the overpowers them. They, in Sanskrit, they are called bhutas. So these bhutas have different forms, different levels, and Tara energy is controlling them. Yes, and it's absolutely. And also, one thing, you know, in Tibetan medicine, for example, if you have some problems with the spirits or they manifest, they say that sometimes it's caused by the wrong how to say, movement of lung or energy in the channels. And so in Tibetan medicine, they recommend the practice of Tara, or her mantra as well, for that kind of imbalances in the body. You know, sometimes by this imbalance, we are kind of invoking this spirits. You know, that's why Tara controls. She regains the balance in our body system, energy system, and then we are kind of healed from this influence of the spirits. You know, yeah.
I also heard an opinion that Tara is a fully enlightened being. So she is a Buddha. And
Yeah.
I always wonder, how is it Avalokiteshvara is a Bodhisattva and Tara is a Buddha?
Mm-hmm. You know, that's interesting point because we can look from the uh, from ordinary mind, from our level. We can think that Bodhisattva is lower than Buddha. You know, in Mahayana, that's the idea. And then some other, for example, arhats or shravakas are lower than bodhisattva. So there is a hierarchy, you know, which is maybe right from the Mahayana point of view. But, you know, in Vajrayana, they say that you cannot manifest or become a bodhisattva or emanation or, you know, the nirmanakaya without realizing dharmakaya. But when you realize Dharmakaya, you are automatically have Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya because they are inseparable. So it means that you already have to be Buddha to become Nirmanakaya or become manifest in the form of Bodhisattva or Tara or, for example, other beings like Mahasiddhas or I don't know. We can you know, in Vajrayana actually they say that all these bodhisattvas are already, even some protectors are enlightened protectors or Buddhas, but they manifest in the way that they kind of in disguise. It's like, for example, Mahakala. He is very terrifying, but he is considered as Avalokiteshvara in the form of protector. And actually, he is a Buddha, but in such a disguise that we feel that he is protector because he is terrible and terrifying outfit. You know. It's like, for example, they say that it's the same as one person putting different clothes, you know. Maybe he is policeman at work, but when he comes home, he takes these clothes and becomes just a good father for children, you know, plays with them. But when he goes back, he needs to be tough against criminals, so he puts different clothes, something like that, you know. Also, one thing, you know, I want to mention that generally when Guru Rinpoche came to Tibet, you know, it was different culture. And they had this old Burn religion that was there was two kind of Burn religion. You know, one kind was almost similar to Buddhism, but was since it was long time ago brought, it was already kind of forgotten and was not in power. But the main they have this other bone that was very kind of how to say like shamanistic, like um, needed some sacrifice, animal sacrifice, and when Dharma comes, it transforms this energies, and Yeshe Tsogyal was very helpful to tame this local practices, and then Burn became regained its natural primordial, status, and then, as we know, it's considered as one of the five main is acknowledged actually by even Dalai Lama as five main branches of Tibetan Buddhism because it's transformed. It means that whenever there is some awakening, real awakening, being coming, it's kind of revives all that was truly valuable in that culture, and the things that were degrading and not good, it's kind of transforms them. That's why there are a lot of trap practices that were that were taken from Burn, but were given the real dharmic kind of view, like for example church practice, like smoke offering practices, like other different practices that were indigenous to Tibetan culture, to Burn, were all transformed. But the same thing, happened in India. For example, after Buddha's enlightenment, awakening, there was absolutely different Hinduism at that time. But after his awakening, this was very much transformed. So what we have now as a Hinduism, one can say it's very heavily, was influenced by Buddha's awakening. It's natural because it's kind of the power of truth makes change in everything, in culture, and it's not necessary yes, to eliminate this everything old and say that it's should be, that Hinduism should be transformed into Buddhism. Not at all. It may be the same, but it's transformed in such a way that kind of it's more close to to reality, to real things. So it's possible, because even Tara, for example, there was Tara practice in Hinduism as well, but these practices, sometimes were has been degraded. But then after Buddha came, these practices were have and the view, the understanding of Tara was changed, even in Hinduism. So that's kind of a small remark about how awakened energy transforms other culture or environment. So it's kind of not in aggressive way, or not in a way to destroy it, but to give it the a real authentic meaning, because they say that there were many other Buddhas before Buddha, long time ago, and their teachings, their practices gradually were degrading. So when the new Buddha comes, he kind of revives, gives new meaning to these practices, so they again start functioning as you know, as an leading to real awakening.
I've got two questions.
Yes.
One is about the 8th day of the Tibetan moon. I'm just wondering, that seems to be a day when practice for Tara is done.
Mm-hmm. Which days? Which days practices? Yes. Which?
Yeah,
In which days?
Number 8.
8th lunar day.
Yeah.
8th lunar day for green Tara.
Okay.
And 3rd lunar day for white Tara.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, 3rd lunar day. And 25th lunar day from any other Tara.
Okay. Is there anything you can say about Atisha, Jawar Atisha, and in Bengal
Yes.
and
Yeah,
Tara?
Joa Atisha was very much connected to Tara, to such an extent that she, because he had a very difficult mission to go to Tibet, and he had no desire to go there. You know, it was
Horrible
for
place.
Indians. For Indians, it was like going to some hellish realm. In India, Tibet is considered the land of bhutas or demons or spirits. So not a single Indian in his right mind would like to go to Tibet at that time, you know. And Atisha was very much reluctant, but Tara said that I will protect you. I will give you auspicious circumstances, and please go on practicing everything, and you, because you are needed there. But when Atisha came to Tibet, you know, he discovered that they had all these practices. You know, they had a Mahayana transmission, they had Vajrayana transmission, tantras. So it was almost like nothing he would teach them, you know, because they had already these transmissions. But then he understood at some point what was missing. You know, they don't practice the unity of three yanas. It means that three vehicles, three yanas, be practiced as one. You know, and they practice separately: Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana. So Atisha said that his mission was to make them understand that it's all one unit. You know, the three yanas are inseparable, because when you practice Vajrayana, you at the same time practice Hinayana and Mahayana at the same time. They are included in
So
that.
that was a specific orientation that he brought.
Yeah,
Before that,
right,
there was
right.
conflict and
Before there was no conflict, but they
okay,
practiced separately: Hinayana, then
okay,
Mahayana, and then Vajrayana. That's
okay.
why, you know, for example, in some colleges they studied for 20 years to only start to practice Vajrayana. You know, before they started Vajrayana, they practiced 20 years logic, I don't know, philosophy, everything. Then Mahayana gradually, and then somehow they started this Vajrayana, which was kind of true, but because we need this step by step, but there was no understanding that they are working together, these all three yanas. So this was Atisha's gift, and the main thing, Atisha also was, you know, this mind training system, like Lojong, the slogans. You know, there is a wonderful book by Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche about this mind training, Lojong. So this a kind of link between Mahayana and Vajrayana. Actually, the union of Mahayana and Vajrayana is in these teachings, and so Atisha was responsible for giving these teachings, you know, this understanding to Tibetans. And there is a very funny story that he was told that, oh, Tibetans are very nice people. So, and he was practicing patience, and he had a Bengali boy servant who, you know, was very angry. Sometimes he beat him, you know, very aggressive boy. And he brought him with him to practice patience, you know. But then after staying in Tibet for a while, he remarked that it need not be done. I mean, he could have, you know, worked on patience without that boy, with Tibetans, you know. It's funny joke, you know, but maybe it's true. I don't know, because people are everywhere the same actually. So you need not bring someone special to practice patience, you know.
That's a good story. And tell me about Tara. What was Atisha's special relationship with Tara?
He had several visions, you know, like in person, of Tara, and a very strong connection. And by the way, he gave very powerful uh, practices of Tara, and there are some lineages that still come from Atisha, Tara transmission of practices. So
Okay,
that's why
thank you.
somehow, yeah, she is. Also, we see that without Tara's energy, again, introduction of Dharma will be difficult, or feminine energy. Again, we see that this feminine energy is very instrumental for communicating, for transmitting the Dharma. That's why we need to kind of understand and practice Tara, or Yeshe Tsogyal. Yeah.
Sandro, thank you so much for the wealth of details and knowledge you brought about these two personalities, Tara and Yeshe Tsogyal. I was just wondering what attracted you to these two deities, to study them and to clearly invest so much in them, or how did you reach them, or what brought you to them?
I think you know, the feeling of gratitude, and also this somehow that one, for example, you know, I met one Lama, and he told me that I asked him what was his kind of main. um what helped him to enter the Dharma, really, to understand the compassion, you know, maybe some special texts, maybe some special practices, or some lamas, or some teachings. And he said that he gained this, or everything, from his grandmother, you know. Because he experienced the care, the love. The grandmother, only grandmother can allow, you know, in such a way, you know. And he said that this helped him to understand this feminine, you know, energy, like Tara, like Yeshe Tsogyal. So, and he kind of uh, well, it was like a connection, you know. So we have as example, for example, the person, usually it's mother or grandmother, who cares about you, I mean, the most, you know. We can have, of course, other people caring, and we have a love relationship, you know. But I think the intensity and experience of love that could happen between mother and child and grandmother and child. Very powerful, very intense. You know, it's like because it's kind of, yeah, I think something. So this helps us to uh, to have a glimpse of what the energy of Tara or Yeshe Tsogyal or female energy might be. You know, and we can have some understanding. I mean, then this I met some other person, you know, who was a Hindu. You know, he's a Hindu guru. You know, the in Hinduism, but very very kind of how to say traditional, yeah. And he also told me that his grandmother, you know, she was she loved her so much, but when she died, you know, then kind of it makes a huge transformation in him. You know, he kind of was really uh, uh, really start practicing in a different way after her death, because to regain this love, you know, now without her, you know.
Mm-hmm. Good. Thank you.
I found it quite interesting, your insight that out of compassionate activities, out of compassion to spread Dharma in the West, that is one way of explaining why many Tibetan lamas take Western consorts.
Right, right, right. Because it's a bridge, you know, it's a kind of entering point, like a door. Like if you want to know culture, language, make connection with that, you have to do that, you know. I mean, of course, there are some lamas who don't do that. They just keep being Tibetan, have Tibetan wives, Tibetan consort. I mean, they speak Tibetan language. But according to Padmasambhava, you know, so we are trying to be his followers. So his understanding was that one should integrate language, should become Dharma language, and culture should become, but this only through integration. So it means that Lama has to become completely Western person, become you know, good knowledge of language, you know, of traditions, of culture, of religion, of everything, and then he can really help, really manifest, you know. Otherwise, it's too much gap, you know. They live in their own kind of cocoon of Tibetan culture, and we live in our own cocoon of Western culture and history and religion, and the mindsets are very different. You know, we should consider that only few decades ago, Tibet was still a kingdom, and you know, there was a feudalism there. You know, there were even how slaves there. So absolutely different culture. There was a male dominating culture, you know, as well. So and a very strict hierarchy, you know, and the monasteries were also not as quite lovely places as we think, you know. So there were many problems. So, but I mean, every culture has its shortcomings, and we cannot say that one culture is better than the other. But if you are bringing the awakened mind to make it available to integrate it with, in our case, Western culture, it's the best way is to have a teacher who is closer to you. In our case, it's like James, you know. For us, James is more important than maybe some Tibetan Lama, you know, because he is Western person, but he is embodying this awakened state, you know. That is very important. One, you know, Lama said that Western people think that they should find the lamas with slitty eyes, you know, like Tibetans. That's not right. I mean, lamas can be Western as well, you know, it doesn't matter. And nowadays, many tulkus find, you know, in West, many tulkus, even some Dharma teachings, you know, from you know are received by these tulkus in English language, for example, because these terms are anyway in the language of Dakinis. It's called Sankhya Bhasa, or hidden language, you know. So it's not Tibetan language. That it's transcribed from the language of Dakinis to the Tibetan, but nowadays it can be transcribed from Dakinis right to English, right to Spanish, right to Italian. I don't know, whatever, you know. So because nowadays these mandala that was Tibet once ago, long time ago, now it's all over. It's kind of becoming global. You know? And Guru Rinpoche's understanding and prediction was that Dharma will come to the West. You know, and he will, and now his manifestations are coming to the West as well. So we have a hope. There is some chance, you know, for us also as well.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was so interesting. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank
you are more
you.
than welcome.
Yeah,
Yes,
Sandro.
thank you.
Have a nice weekend,
Very
everyone.
nice.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Nice to
Sandro.
listen
Thank
to
you,
you.
everyone.
Everyone.
Omaha.
Thank you. Thank you very much. May Tara bless
Great.
you.
And
Yeah.
you, Sandro.
So.
All of us.
Tare tu tare.
Nice to see
Yes.
you.
Tari tu tari turi swaha.
Ture swaha. Right. Bye.